Prepare to strike. Fighters ready. Engage.
6, 1, 4, 6, 1, 4, 6, 1, 4.
Hello there, peoples. Welcome back to 614 Punch, the people, the places, and the players of the Columbus fighting game community. I'm Felicia, aka Kako Princess, and I'm here today with my co-host Travis, aka Perfidious Sin.
Good morning, or afternoon, or whenever you're listening to this.
And we are here today with Ryan Vile.
Hello.
And for the first, who I think this is the first time you've actually been on the show, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and then also for the first time on the show, we have Graham, aka Suna.
Hey there.
All right, so before we get started, we want to let you two introduce yourselves. So, Ryan, tell us a bit about yourself, what you play, and what you do in the Columbus community.
Okay, I'm Ryan Vile. My main game is Street Fighter 5, but lately Mortal Kombat 11 has been it. I've only been playing fighting games since Street Fighter 5 came out. Before that, I was a first-person shooter person. As far as what I do around town, generally, like I help run a local venue called Close Quarters that people come in to play fighting games and Killer Queen.
Cool stuff. And then you, Suna, you go ahead and tell us a bit about yourself, what you do, all that.
Well, so I've kind of always been multiple game player. You know, I tried pretty much everything, but it's been getting more narrowed now. So I've mostly been focusing on Unist and Soul Calibur at this point. But I'll be playing, you know, pretty much any new game that comes out. I'll at least give a try. And then kind of around, you know, I don't really like organize the tournaments, but I'm always around to help out with the TOs and stuff like that. And, you know, kind of just hang out, go to Burst and Brews pretty much every week.
All right, so now that we got everybody together, today's episode is all about everybody's favorite subject, taxes. No, I'm just kidding. Today we're talking, it's not exactly Columbus, where we're going to be talking about Evolution, aka Evo. We're going to be talking hot takes, and by hot takes I mean just what everybody thinks about the event this year. Sounds more fun than taxes, am I right?
Oh, is it hot takes? Because I actually researched a lot, and I have notes. I thought, are we just going to go off the dome?
I mean, everybody's going to be sharing their opinions, and then if you have like notes on something you want to share, please feel free.
Okay, because I don't do hot takes. I've literally never had a disagreeable opinion on anything.
You sure about that?
100%. Let's go.
Okay, who has a better butt, King or Armor King?
I'm not. I haven't done enough research to go into the subject.
Okay,
we'll come back to it next
I'm
week.
Googling this right now, so we'll figure this out. Time to research.
okay.
My hot take is I'm going to say Armor King.
Okay. I mean, that's what I'd say as well. But why don't we go? Let's just go ahead and get to the actual show then. So let's start with, what was your initial reaction to the Evo 2019 lineup? And have your feelings changed at all since that initial announcement? It's late June as we're recording this for the audience.
Oh, yeah. Do you think we could read off the lineup, actually?
Oh, yeah. Do you want to read off the lineup?
Yeah, I've got it pulled up right here. So
right.
The official lineup for Evo, which is going to be on August 2nd to 4th, is Street Fighter 5, Tekken 7, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Mortal Kombat 11, Soul Calibur 6, Under Night and Birth EXE Late ST, Dragon Ball Fighters, Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, and Samurai Showdown.
Some good stuff. All right, so Suna, we'll let you start your initial reaction to Evo's lineup this year, and has anything changed since it was announced and now in late June?
So my initial reaction was obviously, you know, being pretty happy. Mostly just for the inclusion of Eunice. It's a game that I played since Uniel came out in 2014, and a big thing that came with that was a couple of years before this, kind of when Uniel was out. It didn't get picked for Evo, as an official Evo tournament, and so kind of, you know, it was a bit disappointing then, and after the years after that, it didn't really have the momentum. But then seeing kind of the result of just how it's built itself up naturally, you could say it didn't have the boost of, being an Evo game before this, but it still was building itself up as a tournament. So seeing it, kind of go that route of getting into of being selected as a main tournament as Evo was really, great to see. Other than that, it was pretty much all the games that I did want to see included, which is pretty much Soul Calibur, Tekken, were included. The only things that I was disappointed weren't included again was like Guilty Gear, um, since that's been a great tournament to watch at Evo over the past few years. I know a lot of people were disappointed at the uninclusions of Melee, but that's never been my game. I've never been a Melee player, so I was kind of indifferent to whether it was going to be included or not. I think the only surprising one to me was Samurai Showdown, and I only say that surprising because um, Evo has had some up and down, history with when they bring in a game before it's actually released and considered as a new tournament. I think the worst example was they had Street Fighter Cross Tekken the first year, and that was not good. I think
Yeah,
they
that was
ended.
that was also an issue of them having like really weird rules for the game, right? Wasn't it like
Well,
pair play?
yeah, they did pair play because when they initially announced it, the game wasn't out yet. They didn't know what was going to happen, and then when it came out and was kind of boring, um, then later they just threw the wrench in of, okay, we're changing it to being a team tournament, a pair tournament, and doing the 2v2 mode. So it just kind of ended up being a mess. It was before that game got patched and got better. But that was pretty much like, kind of the problem with, including a game that isn't actually out and then they announce it. But then they did that last year too with Cross Tag Battle, and that actually turned out pretty well.
Yeah, there is always a risk of them like for unannounced games of them not knowing how to run it at Evo. But I feel like for the most part recently they've figured it out.
I think they might work a lot closer with some of the developers before they do that, and
For
so they
sure.
kind of get an idea. But that's about my thoughts. And my feelings haven't really changed. I'm still happy that Eunice is in it. I'm happy Soul Calibur 6 is in it. And, I'm looking forward to it.
Nice. All right, Ryan. Your initial reaction to Evo.
So I guess my first take was like I looked at it, just visually, and then I was like, wait, how many games? Because I remember Evo. I feel like it was just a few years ago. There were 6 games, and now it's like there's 9 games. And then I did another double take and was like, whoa there. There's no Melee. I feel like some people are going to feel slighted because some people very much think Melee should be everywhere. Like if they could get it into a gas station next to their house or something, right? Just constant Melee. So I was like, there's going to be a little bit of pushback on that. Looked over the lineup, said, man, Arxis and Bandai Namco basically own Evo at this point. I think they've got like, if you include Eunice sort of being distributed by Arxis, I would say that's like 6 games that they own, I think. I'd have to look at the list again, but it's a lot. And I was like, man, that's a lot of games. And I remember when Capcom had a stake in this, but now they don't. They just have Street Fighter. Um, you know,
Capcom, they could have done it. I mean, they have games to put in there, but they just chose not to.
agreed. Um, or I mean, I my comeback on that would be, well, which game would they put beside? Which game has enough players playing it and enough interest besides Street Fighter at this point for Capcom?
Yeah,
Right.
there was a period where Marvel versus Capcom Infinite could have gotten in there, but I think at this point it's too late.
They dropped that game pretty hard. It doesn't exist. It's been written out of history. Maybe you might see Marvel versus Capcom 3 do a comeback, but I don't
Yeah,
think you're
that's probably
gonna
more
see
likely.
Infinite at that point. And then of course Sam Show, and I was like, well, that's interesting. We'll see how that goes. Oh, I guess there's a new Sam Show game coming out. So those were like my initial takes to that.
Actually, that did remind me. I forgot about this. Is I think they actually announced the release date of Sam Show when they announced it for Evo, or at least like kind of the vague release date.
Yeah, I kind of remember that on the live stream. That was kind of weird.
Lots of cool announcements always happen. All right, Travis.
Okay, my initial reaction to the lineup was I'm super glad that Under Night and Birth got in because that's like probably my favorite anime game out to watch and play, and it's cool that so I've always been sore about Skullgirls never making it in the Evo, even when it was like at the height of its popularity and was getting more popular, but still never made an official game. So like I don't know, I kind of feel in a weird way Under Night is like revenge for Skullgirls because they get to get in the tournament like after growing naturally for so many years. So that was pretty cool. Most of the other stuff it's about what I expected. I was a little surprised to see Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle come out because the game hasn't had super high entrance in tournaments, but I guess it's good that it's getting 2 years. And my initial hot take is that I didn't like Samurai Showdown getting in because I generally am against unreleased games getting into Evo. Like I feel like every game should have that 1 year to just to prove itself, like see if it could make it at Evo. But I'm always like, should we really be putting a game that's like people are going to have about a month of practice, maybe a little less before Evo? So like, should we really be throwing this game in? But my feelings after that is that now that I've seen some Samurai Showdown, like now I've actually seen the gameplay and some tournament footage, it fits in. Like it's going to fit really well. I think that's going to be a fun tournament. And besides that, everything else about the same. It's like Blaze Blue Cross Tag, I think, is at the bottom of the entry leaderboards right now, but it might be the last year for that game. But I hope that tournament goes well. They just had a big patch, and it's gonna shake up like a lot of problems that I had watching that game. So hopefully that's an interesting, entertaining tournament at least.
Yeah. Hey, Ola. How you doing?
You guys doing?
Doing all right. Glad you were able to make it. So, do you
Nice
need
to
a
wake up
second
as
to warm
well.
up your voice?
I need what?
Do you need a second to warm up your voice? Do you want me to go next and then you on the prompt we're doing?
That works for me, just so I can get caught up with things.
Yeah, just mute your mic and sing some scales, do some do re mi fa so, all that.
All right. So
Okay.
for me, when the announcement first came out, at first I was surprised and kind of angry that there was no Guilty Gear because I love watching Guilty Gear at Evo, especially last year, watching Lost Soul get the third place. I was so excited for me. But I was happy that Eunice finally got the recognition that I feel it deserves because I've seen like the dedication to that game. It reminds me a lot of like Vampire Savior and other less popular games like that. And of course, Sam Show, I've loved SNK practically the whole time I've been playing fighting games. Like even for going by my casual days, I've always loved SNK games. I love their style, their characters, and I feel that they are just criminally overlooked compared to developers like Capcom. So to see them back on the Evo stage is really exciting. I wouldn't say much has changed since that announcement. I will say, I guess I'm more excited for Sam's show, even though I don't play it, because I've seen so many people who are big SNK fans, such as Papa Claw from Paradise Arcade, talk about how excited they are to see a new Samurai Showdown and just a new SNK game in general at EVO. That's me.
Oh, so okay. So with Guilty Gear not getting included, I guess I'll extend this to Suna and Felicia. Um, do you do you feel it would have been a better choice to have Guilty Gear over Blaze Blue since Guilty Gear is a more popular game?
Yeah, well, you're also talking to someone who really dislikes Blaze Blue or Cross Tag Battle, that is.
But
So
just in terms of entrant numbers, I kind of think that Guilty Gear would have been more successful.
I mean, I'll have to see because Cross Tag Battle did fine at Evo last year because it's not a new inclusion. It was it was last year as well, and it's been still been steady, you know. And I think people have come around. It did just get kind of a new update with some new things. Now I'll admit I don't actually play the game. Really, I did try it when it came out, but just really didn't catch on for me. So I couldn't say which one would be the better inclusion. I think at this point, I think it's probably all right that it went to cross tag battle. You don't want to kind of have too many of those just one and done. Okay, you had your year, now it's gone. It's nice to see that they felt that it was successful and kind of continued, including it.
Yeah, it did just have
Um,
that big patch, and it'll look really different than it did last year, I bet.
yeah, I
and
think they'll.
it's got Teddy.
It does have Teddy now. Got Teddy, got Hart, and I think that's also opening kind of the door for it. I'll probably talk about this later, just because of the hosts and predictions and stuff like that. But it's probably kind of set up because I believe it's going to be a Sunday game.
Yeah.
I can check that real
So
quick.
Sunday it's Blaze Blues, Smash, Street Fighter 5, Tekken.
And Dragon Ball. Is Dragon Ball on Saturday again?
Surprisingly,
No,
no.
it's Mortal Kombat, right?
No, they only
Yeah,
have 4
MK is a
games on
Saturday
Sunday.
game. Yeah.
I think on Sunday, which I'm surprised, the probably one of the hypest games from last year was as far as grand finals was that Dragon Ball Z. But I think it's just Blaze Blue, Smash, Street Fighter 5 and Tekken 7, which interesting that Blaze Blue is a Sunday game. Also, I mean, how many back to my Arxis thing? How many Arxis games are you gonna put on a Sunday, right? Do you really want Blaze Blue, and Dragon Ball, and like sort of anime-ish
Oh yeah, you're
games,
right.
So, uh, yeah, pretty happy that. I mean, Smash Ultimate obviously has to be on a Sunday. It's probably got the biggest following, and then Street Fighter gets in by name recognition. Tekken is another obvious name recognition, but then BlazBlue, you're sort of like, wait, what? Over Dragon Ball Z,
Well, Blaze
over
Blue, they're gonna reveal something for Blaze Blue. That's the only
Yeah,
that
that's kind of why I was going to hold off on mentioning that
Yeah.
until we get to kind of the hopes and things. But I'm pretty sure, yeah, there's reasons for things to be included on Sunday, but there's other things that could happen too. I mean, for the other games, like you said, like with Mortal Kombat and Dragon Ball Fighters, it's like it's more than likely they'll probably have something too. So no reason they can't show that before Sunday, of course. Just kind of
I'm
whenever their finals are.
when it came out when the lineup came out, back in February, I looked at it. One of the things I said is, oh, Mortal Kombat is new Mortal Kombat replacing Injustice. Injustice to me has been pretty boring lately, so I was like, whatever. Mortal Kombat's just gonna be like another Injustice, and it's gonna be boring to watch. But this year, I feel like Mortal Kombat should rate up on that Sunday lineup. It's the hypest Mortal Kombat that's come out in a while. So
I wonder if it's because of time restraints, because that game's 3 out of 5. It might run too long.
Could be that. Could be fatalities. It could be just the fact that in February it's really hard to bet on a game that maybe the beta is out, but you have no idea how it's going to be accepted by the scene.
All right, Ola. In case you didn't see the prompt, what were your thoughts at the Evo 2019 lineup announcement, and what are your feelings now that we're about a month away from Evo?
All right. I'm not sure what all I've missed, but as far as my initial reaction, uh, being a former Melee PM player, I was a little heartbroken to see Melee cut from the lineup with this new games or revival of the series Samurai Showdown. All the other games, I'm definitely excited to see still. Soul Calibur is going to be dope. Tekken's going to be amazing. Dragon Ball Z Fighters was pretty hype, very hype last time, so can't wait to see what happens this time. And it's great that Unil, or Eunice in this case, finally is getting its chance to shine, so you really can't be salty about that. Great for that game. As far as how they've changed since the announcement, I'm I'm a little skeptical of how Samurai Showdown's going to do. Like, I'm not. It was hype at first when it was announced, but I've heard very little about it since then. It's almost as if no one's no one's really carrying the hype train for this game going into Evo. I was able to see a little bit of a gameplay online about how that game's played. I'm I have the highest of hopes, but man, it seems like it may be one of those one and done games where it gets a huge following for like a couple months, but then just fades off into obscurity and really never gets seen again.
We're
Um,
probably going to see over the next month because the game isn't officially out until next week. So we'll see how it builds up over July.
that makes plenty of sense. I didn't realize the game was not officially out.
No,
I
it
knew
comes
that
out
some people
on
had
Tuesday, I
copies.
think.
Man, they're really going for the as close to a day one tournament as they can for Evo, so that's cool. Um, but I didn't know which games were Saturday versus Sunday. I was never really terribly concerned about that. In all honesty, I wouldn't mind having my game that I'm most excited about just be a Saturday game, so I can at least have the game finished earlier in the weekend and not have to worry about just waking up the next day and potentially missing any of the top eight. I went to Evo a couple years ago, and I remember they did the Sunday Pass, where the Sunday games happened in a whole different venue. You had to pay a whole different fee to get to those. Avoiding that would be amazing, in my opinion. So anything to do that is okay in my book. Um, I think there's no real. I don't feel strongly one way or the other about games being on Saturday versus Sunday. Um, I mentioned about if I'm planning on attending. Like I said, it's likely not going to be the same thing this year. It's much more difficult to justify heading out to Vegas in the middle of summer multiple times in your life. But definitely once that I like to something you got to kick off the bucket list once. Evo was a great time, but likely not going to happen again. As far as hopes and predictions,
Oh, we're not going that far yet.
Not
Yeah.
I am way ahead of the game.
The prompts are all in some of the other Discord channels. Don't worry.
Okay.
Okay. So, all right. So next up, start with Suna again. Starting with Suna again. What games and players are you most excited for this year?
So, obviously, for what as far as watching and kind of getting into it, Eunice, Soul Calibur, Tekken, especially Tekken's always going to be kind of a good spectacle. Just the level of the players once you get later into it, and even earlier on, it just it's just such a great game to watch right now, and so obviously looking forward to that one. But on a closer level with Eunice, um, what I'm most excited with that is actually that a lot of the Japanese players, like the kind of heavy arcade players, are planning to come. So you know, over the past couple tournaments, we've had Clear Lamp here for quite a lot of tournaments, the Japanese Byakuya. And he's obviously very good. But when it got announced, you did start seeing a lot more of the other ones who haven't ever made that trip before starting to plan for it. So there's like Nishine, who's the number one Orie. I think maybe Shimazaki, the number one Chaos. Like you got kind of all of them being like, it's at Evo, try to start making plans for it. And so I'm really excited to see that one, just because it'll be a good tournament. Kind of with that, you get that with the like Japanese like national tournaments that happen when you do get people from the other parts of Japan traveling for one tournament. But this one will obviously have that more. And it'll be good to see kind of the level of competition too. I mean, it's been close. I hope it's not entirely dominated. I hope some American players can have a good showing at least. But it'll be just nice to see like all kind of that level of play, all in one place at a time. And then Soul Calibur, I'm just happy to, been happy to play Soul Calibur again, so I'm really looking forward to that. Can't say for sure any like players I'm super excited about. Although again, it's another one where it's like when you do get the international competition, Soul Calibur's always kind of had that history, especially with the French players. Like somehow like France became like a hotbed of like really really good Soul Calibur players. Between like Kayane and Kiev. Dan the Nightmare was another one back in Soul Calibur too, and so just getting all of those together again kind of looks at that. Other than that, kind of just every game usually has its own moments and times, and so they can all be pretty fun to watch.
Nice. Ryan?
So this will be the first year for Smash Ultimate. So pretty excited about that. I'm not a Smash player, besides party game playing, but uh, I feel like Smash Ultimate has a real chance of making people not say, "Wait, where's Melee?" Uh, so if Evo can pull off Smash Ultimate, which we will see, it's going to be its first year since it was released around Christmas. Uh, but I think Smash Ultimate will be the melee killer, especially for Evo, and maybe it will make people sort of forget that melee isn't there anymore. So I'm pretty excited to watch Smash. I'm pretty excited to see Mortal Kombat 11. I think it's uh, probably one of the best games that's come out in a while. Um, I will say exactly the opposite about Samurai Showdown, which I think, Evo obviously bet somewhat heavily on a game that wasn't released yet, and now that it's out, it's slow. It's not going to be like uh, if you could find a snail commentating team or a sloth commentating team, that would go perfectly because it's a really slow game.
That'll be hype. Get the
Okay, who
dude from
Hedgehog?
Zootopia. Get the sloth from Zootopia to commentate.
There you go. There you go. Um, so those are the Smash definitely super excited. Sam Show super not excited. I think I think Street Fighter is always good. I think Tekken is always good. They're games that people can watch, that they understand what's happening. Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Dragon Ball Z, those games are tough, right? If you don't know the game, you're relying a lot on a commentator to tell you, like, oh, this is a 20-minute mix up coming. So, uh, even though Dragon Ball Z was hype last year, I'm not. I might not even watch it this year, right? So I tend to focus mostly on the Sunday games. Time is limited for me. So those are about it as far as what I'm excited about. I think. I'm sure I'll think of something else.
All right. Do we want to go Ola or Travis next?
We'll just go me. We'll just go in the order that's on the screen.
Okay, cool. Yep.
I'm just going to talk about the two games I'm most interested in and are studying right now is Mortal Kombat 11. So I'm very excited to watch Mortal Kombat 11. The tournaments have been extremely hyped so far, like especially Combo Breaker, somebody killing Sonic Fox, finally slaying the beast in like the first major. Scar, it was Scar who beat Sonic Fox at Combo Breaker. So I'm rooting for Sonic Fox, like as always. I root for him in every game, but it would also be hype if somebody beat him. But yes, I'm very excited to watch Mortal Kombat 11. It's an excellent game to watch. And second on the list is Tekken 7. So currently, I don't know if you knew this, but the second highest ranked player on the Tekken leaderboards is American. It's Anakin, Red Bull Anakin. He is number 2 on the leaderboards right now, and I'm pretty sure he's going to Evo. So there's also Shadow 20Z is up in like the top 20. Who was it? Jimmy J Charin's up there. Speed Kicks are up there. So if you remember last year at Evo 2018, we had one of the highest performances by an American at Tekken 7. Lil Majin made 3rd place. So I'm very excited to see. I want to see America's performance in Tekken 7 again this year. That's what I'm most interested in seeing. I want Anakin to win it. Like he's probably the most likely American to take it. I want to see if Lil Majin shows up and has another amazing performance because he is sponsored now. He can show up. But yeah, I want to see I just want to see America go all the way in Tekken 7 if possible. And if not, I like Lowhigh to win because like he's my favorite player to watch. So I want America or Lowhigh in Tekken, and that's what I'm most interested in seeing this year.
And now we say Ola to Ola with his thoughts.
Well, I'm going to start off by sort of contradicting what someone said earlier about Melee and its non involvement there. I think no matter how great Ultimate is, and it could be amazing, don't get me wrong, it could be incredible. There's going to be a lot of people that are still salty that Melee is not there. Trust me. Summit, one of the other, probably the next biggest tournament after Evo for Smash, just had their Melee edition again. That's what they started with. And a new player, or not a new player, a player that's not won a major in a long time, Axe, the Pikachu main, managed to pull off the win. And it was amazingly hype, super exciting. Down to the end, it was it was something to behold. That all that hype is gonna just now be lost in for Melee until the next Smash major. It's gonna be brought back in CEO, but then Evo's gonna come and it's all gonna be dead in the water. Ultimate, on the other hand, while it's a great game, it's like the best. It's one of the best non-melee Smash games to come out, and that's saying as someone that's like a big melee fan. I enjoy the game a lot. I enjoyed Ultimate a lot. That is, it's been sort of slowing down. It's not as popular on Twitch as much. I mean, people are not tuning in. People like Zero aren't even playing it all the time anymore. You know, they're doing the Smash players that play Ultimate are doing different games, and it's tough to keep the popularity for that game alive. Obviously, right now, the game can sort of build on that or ride that hype of the new character announcements. You know, Banjo-Kazooie's finally coming in, as well as the Dragon Quest hero. So that's definitely going to keep hype alive for the game. But as far as the game itself, I mean, people aren't like complaining about anything. It's not like there's an overarching meta that's ruining things. It's just it's gotten a little slow and stale to some people. I'm sure come Evo, it's going to be very different. It is going to be Smash Ultimate's first time at Evo. There's always the praise of winning an Evo. It's going to definitely drive a lot of the competitors to put on a good show for us. But I just wanted to really reiterate that people won't forget that Melee's there. Unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of people in the chat room and probably at the event that are going to be vocal about that. But that's not something to really do much about. The other game I would be excited about, obviously, is Tekken. As people had mentioned, Lil Majin's hype run was amazing. What I expect and hope to see would be American players doing well, as everyone else had said. More specifically, um, I mean, obviously Anakin, I want him to do well, and he might have the best chance of doing well. Being a Huarang player, I definitely want to see Speed Kicks do well and not drop his character in top 8 to lose with Miguel or something. But you never
No,
know what's going to happen.
he's gonna pick a dumb character. That's just what he does.
I totally understand. I play Huarang too, and I've dropped him 1,000 times. So it's like I get it, but I still want to see the original Huarang do well. Tekken's always hype. It's always a show. Curious to see who else sort of steps up and has a cool run because that's sort of what happens at Evo. They don't do top 5 until they don't do best of 5 until top 3, if I have that correct, and that sort of leads to a wacky game. If Combo Breaker was best of 3, Anakin would have been the outright winner. But because they get that extra match or that extra game in the set, a lot of crazy things happen. You see a download, you see momentum swings. It's just it can be a lot of hype. Um, and then obviously Sam Show. I'm excited to see what it is. It's a new game. New game tournaments are always super hype because no one knows what's going on. The people are abusing the as much things as they can, and that's always just a hype showing for me. Um, I remember when DBZ first had its new tournaments. There's so much unoptimal stuff that's happening, so much fake stuff that's happening, but no one realizes it's not real, and that makes all the more exciting because you'll see meta evolve over the course of this tournament, which I think is going to be pretty hype. Um, I'm not as versed in the other games. I mean, Street Fighter is obviously going to be super sick. I certainly was left behind a while ago, but Soul Calibur is going to be sick. Hopefully, that game is continues to get continued support. I'm not sure if there's been any characters announced since Amy, but I mean that sort of thing can certainly keep the spark alive for the game. But yeah, hopefully Eunice and BB Tag can bring the hype as well.
I'm definitely most excited about Tekken, but I'm sure y'all probably guessed that already. I mean, I'm sure I'll watch some the other tournaments. I mean, I'm excited to see an SNK on stage, but I'm really excited for the Tekken stream. I'll probably try to step away from work just to watch that. I want to see an American win. I'm excited to see Anakin, and I hope Majin makes it. But I also want to cheer for Rangchu just because he's a cool dude. I love his story of doing all he did to get to where he was last year and with Panda, no less. So if he could do that again at Evo, that would be like a total, oh my gosh, this is awesome moment. I know my answers are nowhere near as cool as you guys', but Tekken, Rangchu, Anakin, and Majin for me. That's what I'm most excited about.
Short and sweet.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. Are you planning on attending Evo this year? And if not, are you planning on watching any of the streams?
So I am actually going to Evo. Kind of. There are a few. It's like, do you want to go? Do you not want to go? And then with kind of Eunice and wanting to kind of give a good showing, that kind of prompts some of it of like, okay, let's try and make it work. I have been before, so it's not like new or anything like that, but it is tough to go. It is tough to go to Evo. Just getting the flight, getting to Vegas, hotels are expensive, obviously. So, it can be a big commitment. But I did want to head out there this year, so we'll be going.
Not only are hotels expensive, they always book up a minute after they announce them too.
That is true. I think I'm in the Luxor, so I'm pretty close onto it. It was one of the ones that did have a discount to go with Evo for it. So looking forward to that, and hopefully this time I won't have to watch the stream while I'm there. This is I was the one time I did go. It was the first year with Exert Sign, and I was one of the people who we had to watch the top 16 on someone's phone because of all the Melee players crowding around the stream setup, and we couldn't get in, and they didn't have it showing up on any of the other projectors, so we had no way of watching it other than on the stream, and somebody brought out their phone, and so you had like 20 people all watching a tiny little phone screen on the wall.
That's so weird that they didn't have it on projectors even.
Yeah, it was weird, but then I think the projector above it was like Melee or something, and so it was just crowded. Like there was just everything there, and you were not able to get over there to actually watch the match on the screen they were playing. So we did what we had to do. I think there was a picture of that, of just, this is what we had to do to watch it. So it's, a funny memory now. But hopefully I won't have to do that this time.
Okay, Ryan.
Yeah, definitely not going. Las Vegas in the summer, as someone else said earlier, it's tough. Like, you do it once, maybe twice in your life, but don't make it a habit of it. It's too hot, too dry. Uh, at some point, maybe I will make it out there. So instead, I'll have like a little. Last year I had a viewing party on Sunday at Close Quarters, which is a venue here in town, and I'll probably do the same unless we're booked up at Close Quarters. Then I'll head over to Level One and convince them to put it on their TV. Uh, Sort of a side note, I was at a bar down the street from me the other day, and ESPN was playing some esports, and people think that esports have caught on, but if you go into a local bar and esports is on, all you hear is insults. So generally, if I'm going to watch Evo somewhere, uh, it's going to be with other people who watch Evo, not just like hanging out at a bar, because it's just too many jokes at the expense of like these professional esports people.
Yeah, I couldn't see that flying at a sports bar.
Yeah, exactly. And the funny thing is, these guys probably like, it's like, man, you're real good at eating wings and drinking beer, which is what I'm good at as well. But pay some respect to some people who are good at things. That's just my hot take on that. So not going is the short answer.
I am also not going to make Evo this year. Definitely, it's like the tournament is so large. It's the biggest issue is getting a hotel. Really, is because like when they announce, I think they announced the Evo hotel and venue and stuff. They'll like put it on sale in February or March, and it'll be all gone by the next day. So it's like, just with my amount of planning and the money that I had at the time, I couldn't make it. I would love to go at least one year just for the experience, but it's just like, if you want to go to Evo, you got to have all your ducks in a row by, I would say, February. Just like be ready to be refreshing the page on February. And I was not. So not going to make it this year. Would like to go in the future, though. Definitely am going to be watching the streams. Probably hit up Close Quarters or Level 1 or 16-bit. See who's streaming it, watch it with the people. But that's always a fun, having a watch party with others. But yeah, not going to make it, but we'll definitely be watching as much as I possibly can.
I had mentioned earlier how I went in the past. I planned really early to go to Evo, right? I planned early, but I didn't plan well. I just knew that I wanted to go and I needed money. The time comes for Evo. One of my former Melee friends hits me up and is like, "Yeah, my friend's he's booked a room at the at Mandalay Bay. We're all set. We're good to go." I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome!" I basically was handed a room and didn't have to do anything. Just paid the dude his money and get a room at the top floor of the hotel venue. That guy had his ducks in a row. That guy was on his ish and knew how to be responsible. That is not me. If I tried doing that, I'd be staying at an Airbnb 2 hours away, wondering what happened. When's my pool? It's not something I'd be able to do again. It was sort of dumb luck I was able to before. And as I was saying earlier, it is quite the commitment. I think I went for like a 6-day streak, 5 or 6 days, probably not 6. Last time I was there, and I was a student like in a break from classes. It was much easier to justify being able to do something like that. Nowadays, man, Vegas is not cheap. Once you get there, they take as much money from you as possible. I remember there was no water fountains anywhere. You wanted water, you had to buy a Fiji in your room for like $5.
Awesome.
it's you got to fix your wallet before you head to Vegas. As far as entering the tournaments, those were fun. There were a bunch of events, a bunch of side events. I remember I entered like a Halo side event. I entered to the Sonic Adventure 2 Battle side event. That was pretty dope. But I mean, as far as just entering, man, you got to be you got to be on it because another thing, Vegas is the city of sin. You know, you're trying to avoid all the temptations of Vegas while also going to your tournament. You're trying to avoid getting drunk at the slots tables, um, enjoying their new recreational laws while not just going 0-2 in your tournament because that'll definitely put a damper on your entire trip as a whole. So
All
yeah,
right.
I'm not going to be going this year. I will be watching it. I'll probably hit up the close quarters or level one watch parties. I didn't realize those were things, so down to see those. Um, as far as watching the tournament, there's going to be 1,000 different streams for it. My goal is going to just be not to miss the the Tekken, the Sam show, or any of the other main games, honestly, because I want to see everything. They all have so much to offer, and seeing these games played at the highest levels always sort of a treat.
Better get that multi-twitch going. Have 7 streams up at once.
Yeah. I would go to
And
Evo,
someone's mic just cut off. I heard something.
but no,
Oh yeah, I just hit sticky keys. I need to change my keybind here.
no, I would go to Evo, but
Is
money.
Felicia trying to talk?
I am talking. Can you not hear me? Hello?
I
Her
hear you
icon's
okay.
green.
We can hear you.
Maybe I'm just messed up.
I don't think Ola can.
Yeah, I think he's just messed up. We can hear you.
Okay, but I would go, but money. I don't really have the money to go to Evo. I definitely want to go at some point. I'm kind of considering like trying to start saving for Evo next year, starting this summer, but I'll have to see how things go. But I definitely plan on watching streams. Definitely going to be watching like the Tekken stream and probably Sam show or just whatever, just for the chance to see if there are any announcements or anything cool like that. Thinking about maybe seeing if the bar at Marcus Theaters will allow like an Evo party to watch something on the projector screen where usually they have movies or movie nights.
Wait. They're streaming Evo to movie theater?
I mean, no. So at Marcus Theaters, there's that they have bars in the lobby now and they'll play movies.
Yeah.
I was thinking about asking them if they would host like a stream party there to watch it at that theater because watching it at Marcus, you could have a bigger projector screen than you could probably at one of the barcades, which would be cool, but I'm not counting on that. That was just an idea I had. Good. We are kind of short on time, so everybody's got to kind of keep it short and sweet, everybody, for the next couple answers. Is that cool?
Nope.
We
Not
could
cool at
probably
all.
I mean, we kind of went over what we're excited for, so we could probably kind of blow through hopes and predictions.
Okay. So then I guess, yeah, just hopes and predictions. Just say, yeah, any player wins, potential matchups, announcements. Just go through any of those that you're really excited about. Suna.
Yeah, really, my only hope is that we do get some announcements for the games that I want. Soul Calibur's kind of like on the timing for probably its next DLC character. Eunice basically had the next version leaked because of like I think it was Taiwan rating board gave it a
Oh yeah,
rating, and so
Uni CLR, I think it was.
yeah, and so maybe we'll see something about that. That would be pretty cool. Again, I think mentioned it earlier. I think BB Tag is going to introduce its like sixth fate or whatever, and some new rounds of characters as well. And obviously, other games are definitely going to have announcements. I think the only one that I'm not sure about would be Tekken, just because it kind of already has its new season out. I don't know if they'll go full out and introduce some you know, crazy guest character again, like they did last year with Geese, or was Geese 2 years, whenever it was. So hopefully those kind of come through. So I'm mostly hoping for some good announcements to come out.
Okay, Brian.
All right. Announcements, Street Fighter needs one. That's the only thing I care about. There's things that I really want to see. I think Travis was saying it earlier. This could be the year for USA. Sonic Fox, Scar, Tweak, Punk, Sam Show USA could probably take that. I mean, Tekken, you're probably still gonna see Korea. It's just the way it is. But I think USA is gonna really do well this year compared to other years. I think Soul Calibur 6, this is going to be its last year. I don't think Sam Show's coming back. I don't think BlazBlue's coming back. So I hope they have some sweet announcements or they do well because I don't think you're going to see them again. I think Punk is going to win Street Fighter 5. That is a prediction.
He
I think
better.
Fox and Bayo will not be in Smash anywhere in the finals. You will not see either of those characters. Um, I want to see Sonic Fox go to top 4 in DBZ and Mortal Kombat 11. I would like to see that. So those are my hopes for this year's Evo.
As far as my hopes go, I don't really watch Street Fighter Five at all anymore. But just because of the story and like how much momentum he has, I would really, really like to see Punk win Street Fighter Five. Like just him getting so close and falling to Tokido. I think it was 2 years ago. And but now he's the number one ranked player on the leaderboard. So it would be like an amazing redemption story. There would be women and children and me crying alone in my apartment. If Punk won Street Fighter, I'd love to see that. I said already with Tekken, but I want an American player to win. It's likely going to be I could say like Jimmy J or Anakin could take it. I'd love to see Lil Majin there as well. Um, but yeah, I just want Eunice to do well. I hope Eunice gets a lot of entrants and has a fun tournament because I'd like to see it come back. Maybe the expansion next year, and maybe a bit of a long shot, but I'd like them to announce a new Guilty Gear. I think it's time. Like not like another expansion of Exard, but I just mean like Guilty Gear for Ard, whatever they call it. Guilty Gear Ford, sponsored by Ford. But I'd like to see that. New Guilty Gear is my announcement, hope/prediction.
As far as hopes and predictions, um, I'm gonna start with Soul Calibur. Oddly enough, I don't follow a lot of people. I've not been really as active in Soul Calibur as I was this past year or have been in the past. But I want to see Party Wolf do well. He's the Killick man who I've sort of learned everything from watching his videos and his content. So that'd be great. I would also like to not see a bunch of Song Mina dittos when I left the game or when I last played it. She was sort of an overbearing character and sort of one of the best of the meta. I just hope things have advanced since I last seen the game. For Tekken, I think I already mentioned I want to see American, particularly Speed Kicks, do really well. But as far as predictions go, I kind of imagine Knee's going to take it. If Knee doesn't win, that's just that makes me feel worse knowing that Knee put in all this effort to learn all these characters and sort of change the way you play the game, or you counter pick everyone, and then it didn't work. I
He
want to
didn't
see
win last
Knee's
year, remember? Lowhigh took it.
right. I want to see Knee's strategy like work. So it's like because he seems to have always been doing really well, but had a hard time breaking through until sort of recently, where he's been winning some tournaments. But yeah, I want to see Knee win. That'd be dope for me. Right, Ryan said you're not going to see Andy Bayo or Fox in finals for Ultimate. Bayo probably not. Fox is more likely than you think. This might be one of the fewer games besides Melee where Fox is as good as he has been as far as being a top tier. I know MK Leo plays Fox, and he's been a very consistent top 8 performer. He's won some tournaments. I can imagine you'll see maybe even Fox Dittos, unfortunately, but we'll have to wait and see on that. As far as other things for Smash, I would like to see a Melee player place top 8 again. That's always dope to know that these people that have played this other game primarily can put those fundamentals towards a different game, because as different as Smashes are, they are very similar. I mean, compared to any other game. And I think Wizzy was the one at Smash and Splash that was able to hit top 8 in both Melee and Ultimate. It'd be great to see him pull through in Ultimate as well for this. But as far as the other contenders, it's like probably going to be Leffen or Plup. I don't imagine Mango or Hungrybox are going to be able to hit top 8 in Ultimate. But it'd be dope nonetheless. As far as who I want to win, I don't know. I don't think I'm um, that invested in any player, but I guess Ally, the Snake player, he's definitely an inspiration to other Snake mains out there. Snake's very entertaining to watch for me. I'm sure he puts other people to sleep, but I'm a big fan of the characters that have explosive weapons on the field, so that'd be pretty dope. I think Maester, I think if I say his name right, he plays at Teal Game and Watch, and last I saw, he was honestly changing the game and doing things that are meta changing. Like no one's no one's able to deal with this guy and what he does. Um, hopefully he does really well, or hopefully he does really well. And my prediction is he's actually going to win, unless someone has his number and manages to knock him out. In Street Fighter, despite people's constant beratement of this game, I want to see a good tournament. Like I still watch Street Fighter when it's on. It's still hype to me. I want to see Jin win with Ibuki. I mean, that's sort of the story with me. I want to see people that play my characters do well because then it sort of justifies me picking up that character. It's like, oh yeah, I can't play this character that well, but that guy can play this character amazingly. So I'm living vicariously through you. It's like, oh, you won the tournament with Ibuki? I can win a tournament with Ibuki. Probably not, most definitely not, but I can like to feel that way. If not Jin, then it'd be sick to see Smug do really well. He's always been a treat to watch, but I've not seen him in finals very often for the bigger tournaments, and that would just be dope for me. Punk obviously is a favorite as well, but I'm gonna throw Smug above that. I don't have any real predictions or hopes for the other games. I mean, I hope Eunice does really well. I hope Sam Show's exciting. I hope Tori Hanzo's in Sam Show. This was a shock to me. I learned this recently from Kill Bill. I hope Tori Hanzo makes it very far, just so there can be a lot of Tori Hanzo references and memes in the commentary in the chat. That's all I want from that game.
I'm predicting. I'll say I've already said this before. I want Rangchu, Anakin, or Majin to win Tekken. That's like my big hope. For announcements, I'm pretty sure Street Fighter's been kind of quiet in terms of releasing content, so I have a feeling they're either not releasing something so that the next season, which will be announced at Evo, will be even more hype, or they're working on a new game and they've been devoting their resources to it, and that's why we haven't heard a lot. So I have a feeling we're going to get a big Street Fighter announcement at Evo. I'm also predicting one of two things is going to happen for Tekken. Either a new season is going to be announced with some new characters, because there's still like some fan favorites everybody's asking for, or we'll finally get the first actual tease of Tekken Cross Street Fighter. I'm sure it's going to happen. I don't know when, but after putting Akuma in Tekken 7, there's no way they can't do it. And Harada himself even said the game was 30% done. So yeah, I'm pretty sure we're gonna get an announcement for it, or at least I hope we get an announcement for it. That's kind of what I'm figuring. Also, Arxis, you better announce a new traditional Blaze Blue or a new traditional Guilty Gear, or there's gonna be some torches and pitchforks. IMO.
Yeah, I feel like they're due for a new mainline Guilty Gear Blaze Blue. I think that's a safe bet.
Wait, new Blaze Blue. The current one's BB Tag, right? It's like 2 years
Traditional.
old.
Yeah, just like a 1v1 game. I think
We
I,
haven't
I
had
think
that.
Guilty Gear's more likely, but I'd be fine with a new traditional Blaze Blue.
Man, I feel like that would kill the BB Tag scene. I want that game to continue to thrive.
Oh no,
You
because
can't be competing with yourself, right?
BB Tag and regular Blaze Blue are coexisting. Like the players don't really overlap that much.
I would not have imagined.
Because they're such different games. There's just like I personally know people who are still playing like regular Blaze Blue and they don't like BB Tag because it's very different as a tag game.
Right. That is a major mechanic difference that you're now a tag game. You said you wanted to see a new Guilty Gear as well?
A new traditional Guilty Gear, yes.
Yeah, they're overdue.
I can get behind that. I won't play it, but it would be pretty dope, I guess.
I agree strongly. New Guilty Gear. No more BlazBlue. Like BlazBlue is fine, whatever, but new Guilty Gear. Let's go.
Time to gear up. All right, now. Okay, I have a feeling we probably won't be able to get through everybody talking about. Do you feel if Evo is truly the fighting game event of the year? We might have to just do that in another episode because that is kind of a bigger discussion. So I guess I might as well just say, does anybody have any closing thoughts you want to share on Evo 2019? Does anything
Yes.
you said before or anything you haven't gotten to say? Do you want to go
Uh,
first?
you can't even see me, but I'm raising my hand. Evo is the fighting game event of the year. That's it. That's all I have to say.
Okay, Suna, closing thoughts.
So I'll just put my closing thoughts kind of in the same way of how I feel of that, since it kind of works as a closing thought. I do feel it is the fighting game event of the year, but not quite for this, like, for different reasons. Like, I know everybody's experience can be different with tournaments, but Evo is Evo because of its kind of history, right? And it ends up being a good time that when you get the largest gathering of players on it. But I don't think it's the best tournament, there have been issues with how it's been run before, kind of rule changes like with BB tags 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 5, and Marvel vs. Capcom 3 had that a few years ago. So it's the fighting game event. I guess you could put it that way. It's the event of the year. I wouldn't necessarily say it's always the tournament of the year, both as a competitor and as a spectator.
All right, Travis.
Closing thoughts. Just in terms of my selfishness. So let me get the leaderboard here.
Hit it.
One sec. I have a weird keybind, so it's making my computer explode. All right, I don't have the full leaderboard. So top 3 entrants right now. Number 1 is Smash, obviously. 2 is Street Fighter, and 3 is Tekken. I want Tekken to get more entrants than Street Fighter. That's it. That's my closing thoughts. I want it to be second place.
Ola?
I want things to be announced because that'd be pretty hype. I'd have no real major expectations other than that. So yeah, hope Sam show is dope.
Mm-hmm. I say, maybe Evo has gotten a little too commercial for some, but you can't deny with its history, it's very important. So that's definitely a thought I want to put out. But for 2019 in particular, I just hope we get to see some good plays regardless of the game. And I hope we get some good announcements. But I especially hope we get Tekken Cross Street Fighter, because I want a new Tekken game so that, Justin Wong said when he played Marvel vs. Capcom 1, he hoped for Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and he said, if that comes out, that'll be the game that I beat everybody at. So if Tekken Cross Street Fighter comes out, that's going to be the game I beat all of y'all at, so I hope it gets announced. And now that I say that, I'm probably shot myself in the foot. Yep.
Sounds about right.
All right, and now it's time for everybody's important quiz question. What is the average amount of no, I'm not going to do that. I just
let's implement a quiz for next time. though. I like quizzes.
Okay, here's the quiz. When did commercials for Wilkins Coffee?
I don't know.
Okay.
1987.
You're off by 30 years. 1957.
Wow, you weren't even close.
Okay, but
Yeah.
in all seriousness, everybody, thank you for listening to our Evo episode of 614 Punch. Even though this isn't about Sebas technically, it's Sebas Peoples talking about a special event. But until next time, this has been Felicia.
Are we going up and down order? This is Travis. Bye. See ya.
Yeah, up and down order then.
Just kind of jump in and completely mess up the order. This has been Ola.
It's Ryan.
And this is Suna. Thank you.
I say thank you for listening, and don't let lawn gnomes throw snowballs at your house.
Likely.
Advice.
Mm-hmm.